This is the best loadout in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2. Let's see what they think here.
In today's video, I'm going to be going over what I think is the best loadout in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2. I've had a decent amount of time to play around with a lot of the weapons and try to figure out what I think is best this season. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what your favorite setup has been to use so far in Chapter 4 Season 2. We're going to start off with the Red Eye Assault Rifle because I still think this is the best rifle. You can get by without it in build mode, I think, but for zero build, I really like having like a perfectly accurate assault rifle that I know whenever I see somebody, I'm going to be able to get tags on them. With some of the third-person bloom-based ARs, they're not...
Before we get into his build, what he thinks the best build in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2 is, I'm just going to lay mine out there. Red Eye, Havoc, Suppressed Assault, Sword.
As consistent, or they're not as
see if he says something similar.
Long range on controller, like the aim assist range isn't as long on something like the Havoc suppressed rifle as it is on something like the Red Eye. And for when you're shooting players out of the sky, shooting players are katanaing away from you, trying to steal kills in a third-party situation, I just really like the consistency and reliability of the Red Eye. That being said, I think the Havoc suppressed rifle is really good, and if they change like one or two things about it, I think it could be the best weapon, or one of the best ARs in the game. I think it's a really, really solid weapon. We'll kind of get to that later on in the video though, but I think the Red Eye is still my favorite AR for like medium to long range fighting. For our shotgun, I'm going to be using the Havoc shotgun. I think it's really good. The mythic version is insane. It can one pump
2 out of 4.
And then even if you don't 250 somebody, like just being able to hit for 200 on like a suboptimal shot is kind of wild. It is kind of weird to use on controller. I feel like there's a lot of like aim assist bugs with this weapon currently that'll likely get ironed out over time. And swapping with this weapon doesn't feel as good as it did with with the Thunder Pump. It has like a slower pullout time. It's very easy to mess that up. I've had a lot of people telling me that their Havoc shotgun just isn't shooting. That typically happens when you try to shoot it too soon after pulling it out, like you haven't finished the animation so you can't shoot yet, or you swap too quickly after shooting and you cancel the shot. It's not that the gun is bugged, it's just that you're not used to the muscle memory of the swapping. And I definitely think that does take some getting used to. The range on this weapon really isn't that great, and that's definitely one of the drawbacks
That's
compared
true.
to the Thunder shotgun, is the range and the swap.
You have to be
time,
more
I think,
precise
are the
with
big
it.
downsides, but it hits incredibly hard up close. The other shotguns in the game currently are the Maven shotgun and the combat shotgun. I think the Maven shotgun is very usable. If you do not like the Havoc shotgun, it just doesn't feel good to you. I think it does feel kind of clunky, but if you just can't get used to the Havoc shotgun, I think the Maven shotgun is fine. I don't really like the combat shotgun though. I could see it being good in some playstyles. Like if you have a more like kind of slower, more defensive playstyle where you like just kind of chilling behind cover and chipping people with your shotgun, I think it can work fine. But for how I want to use my shotgun, it's typically kind of we get opening AR tags and then close the gap and finish them with the shotgun. And so the combat shotgun doesn't really fit my playstyle, but I definitely think it is solid. And the fact that the Havoc pump doesn't have much range, I feel like kind of gives more value to the combat shotgun than what it had last season, because the Thunder shotgun had so much range anyway. So
I feel like the second best shotgun in the game right now would have to be, in my opinion, the combat shotgun. I feel like the Maven's kind of fallen off from last season, whereas the Maven was pretty much my favorite shotgun last season versus now, because we now have the Havoc. And I can't remember if the combat shotgun was in last season or not. I think it was kind of more rare than it is now, but definitely, yeah, because it was an augment, right? You could get it with an augment. But yeah, I definitely think the combat shotgun would be second and Maven last in this case now in this new season.
I think the combat is better this season than last, but it still just doesn't fit my playstyle. I could see myself using it in zero build competitive though, when those tournaments do start up. So I'm going to take the Havoc pump. I think the Mythic is really good, and I think it's also very easy to get the Mythic version of it. There's 3 vaults per game that you can open at this point in time, and it's relatively easy to get them, and it's pretty likely you either enjoy landing at those places or you enjoy landing somewhere near them, and since the boss doesn't spawn until second zone, it's pretty easy to make that work. For our healing item, we're going to go for the Slurp Juice. This is also obtained from the vaults, but I think this is just the best healing item in the game. The real downside to it is that it is inconvenient to get. You can get it from the vaults, you can get it from supply drops, and you can get it from the island when you capture the point. And so what I like doing is kind of landing at one of the vault locations or nearby one of the vault locations. We loot up and then go to it by the time the boss spawns, eliminate them, get the key card, get the vault, then you get your slurps and your pump. If you take damage and you have to use them, it's fine, because island comes in 4th zone, and I think it's really important to go for the island anyways. So you basically have 2 slurps to use in between 2nd and 4th zone, and then you get more from the island that you have to win the game with. And then oftentimes there are other people going for the vaults, so I do come across other people using slurp juice just kind of like in the wild, but it's really good. They buffed it. It now gives you both shield and normal health at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. And that's another thing too. If I have the chance, I will definitely take the legendary slurp juice over, say, a 6-pack of splashes.
And it will give you over 100 of each. So you could be at 1 health, drink this item, and then you'd be at 100, and it basically gives 12 health a second. It gives 3 health and 3 shield every half second. So every second you're getting 6 shield and 6 normal health. You combine that and it's 12 health generated a second. I think this item is very, very good. For our mobility, we're going to be going for the katana. Not only is it very good, but it's the only mobility item in the game right now.
3 for 3.
It's also really good and just incredibly easy to use. So you just look where you want to go, hit the dash, and then you go there. It's best, I think, to kind of aim upwards and get some elevation. The most inconvenient thing about this katana is the swap time is weird. So like with the shockwave hammer, you could use it and then just immediately swap to your shotgun. If I was pushing somebody with the hammer, I would often be able to swap to my shotgun while I was still in the air and kind of like pump them from the sky, and then swap to my spray up and spray them as I'm falling, then swap back to the pump. Doesn't work with this. There's like kind of a weird delay after you use it where your character has to put it away. There's also a weird delay when you take it out. If you take it out and try to use it too quick, the game will be like, cannot do that right now. And I've almost died like that a few times. So
I don't think I've ran into that issue.
Kind of a chaotic situation with this item, not to use it, try it too quickly. And also be careful of what you're looking at, because if there's any obstacles in between you and where you're trying to go, it'll just stop you. It's kind of weird the distance at which it kind of like propels you through a wall or stops you at the wall, but more often than not, if you hit any objects on your way up, your entire like use of it is just going to be wasted, because like when you hit a wall and have to break the wall, that like consumes the dash essentially. So you have to be more mindful of how you're using this than something like the shockwave hammer, and it isn't quite as good at making like really aggressive plays, but I think it is better at kind of like moving around the map. Like certain awkward mountains to get up was even inconvenient with the hammer, because you kind of have to like position yourself backwards and then hope you get up. But with this katana, you can just look up and you can chain the dashes. Like you don't have to wait to land to use another one. So I think the katana is really good, and there's nothing really competing in this slot for it anyways.
Does this sword also use stamina, like your sprint stamina? I can't remember if it does or doesn't. Let me know in chat or in the comments down below if it uses the stamina or not. I don't think it does, but again, I'm not sure.
I'm sure if you guys have seen any of my other videos or you've been on my channel for a long time, you know how important I think mobility is in zero build. And the final slot is going to be the spray weapon. So this is between the twin mag, the tactical pistol, and once 4th zone closes, you have the ability to get the exotic pulse rifle. And then you could also use the Havoc suppressed rifle here. I have seen people doing that. I don't like the Havoc suppressed rifle too much as a follow-up weapon, because the swap time on it is really bad. For whatever reason, these Havoc weapons have a terrible swap time. If that ends up getting changed, I could see the Havoc suppressed rifle just being one of the best spray weapons or the best follow-up weapons. But for how it is now, it has a slow swap time, and the pump already has a slow swap time. So if you're trying to combo them together, it just doesn't work well. If you really wanted to do a 2-gun loadout, I guess that could work. Or if you really wanted to run the heavy sniper, you could run something like Havoc or Combat or Maven, whatever your choice of shotgun. Then the Havoc suppressed rifle, then the
I could see that.
The heals and the katana. I think that could work. But if you're gonna run 3 guns like how I do, it's between the twin mag, the tactical pistol, and then the exotic pulse rifle. I made a video on the exotic pulse rifle yesterday.
All right, well, we got 3 for 3 because mine, like I said, was red eye, the katana, the Havoc shotgun, and then the Havoc suppressed.
I think it's just the best spray weapon.
So the only difference is he chose the twin mag, or the fuck, what was the other one? The one like laser beam or whatever. I don't fucking know what it is.
In the game right now. If you want to watch that video, I kind of explain it more in depth. but I do think the exotic pulse rifle is the
Exotic pulse rifle, that's what I was thinking.
weapon. So ideally that, but it doesn't spawn in until 4th zone. So what do you use until 4th zone? I think the twin mag SMG. Last season I preferred the tactical pistol because the range on it was really good, the swap time on it was really good, and I really liked kind of juggling between the thunder pump and the tactical pistol, and the fact that they both had really good range really complemented each other. But I feel like that playstyle just...
Bro, I fucking hated the fucking thunder shotgun so much. I'm so glad they got rid of it. I can't tell you guys how many times I've died to trying to fucking get a second shot off, and it just fucking takes too long to happen, and then I'm dead.
just doesn't work as well with the Havoc shotgun because the Havoc shotgun doesn't have good range. And also the Havoc shotgun has a really bad swap time. Like I talked about this a bunch last season with the Thunder shotgun, where you kind of want to just use your spray weapon to fill the time between pump shots. That doesn't work as well with the Havoc shotgun because the Havoc shotgun has a longer pullout time and just a clunkier pullout time in general.
I feel that.
So far this season, I've kind of found my most success just kind of using the shotgun and then swapping to like my twin mag SMG and spraying out like the entire mag until the opponent is dead, or until
shotgun first, SMG or assault later. Exactly.
Until my twin mag is out of ammo, and then we swap back to the shotgun to finish them. And it's like the same thing with the pulse rifle. Like you just try to get one good opening shot with the Havoc shotgun. Unless you're in a situation where you're kind of playing right shoulder peek off of cover, then you can kind of be more reserved with the shotgun. But if you're in a head-on-head, like kind of open fight where you and the opponent are just kind of trading damage, which sounds bad, but it kind of happens in zero build sometimes, I think you just want to hit them once with the shotgun and then swap to the spray and finish them. Hopefully you hit solid. If you're using the mythic one, you have the chance to one pump somebody, so that can work out quite well. But even if you're not using the mythic, the shotgun can hit really hard on an opening shot.
Always go for the bolts.
Swap to the spray weapon. Hopefully you finish them rather quickly with that. Even if you don't, like swap back to it once and like maybe kill them with the last shot. But I feel like you don't want to be shooting the shotgun 3 or 4 times in a fight, kind of like how you would the Thunder, because that delay with the swap is going to add up. And I feel like the swap time on the Havoc is just way more awkward than something like the Thunder. So it's more likely that you mess it up. And then I feel like the range also plays into this because the Havoc shotgun has like no range at all. So if you're using it, it's kind of you're gonna be like barrel stuff range, and that's kind of where the twin mag SMG excels anyway. So yeah, hit them hard once with the Havoc, swap to your spray to finish them, either the twin mag or the charge pulse or the pulse. I can't talk. The exotic pulse rifle I think is very good. The overclocked pulse rifle, that's what I was trying to say, I think is really good, but obviously you can't get that until 4th zone. So in the meantime, I've been using the twin mag SMG, and you kind of use it more as a spray weapon unless it's a juggling weapon.
I kind of lean towards that assault rifle, that suppressed assault. That's my go-to, honestly. Or if I'm not using that, I'll use the pistol.
Last season, and I've even switched to cumulative damage numbers. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this, but I feel like for how I'm playing around the SMG now, I really kind of want to see the total damage I've done with it over the course of the fight. That way I know how weak they are when I go back to the shotgun. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful and informative. I hope this loadout helps you guys get some wins. Let me know down in the comments below what you like using. I think this season is more up in the air than last season. I think the Havoc suppressed rifle is really good, although I don't really use it. I think the heavy sniper is really good, although I don't use it that much. And then like the same thing with the shotguns go. I've used the Havoc the most, but I don't think the gap between the Havoc and the Maven or the Combat is as large as like the Thunder was last season. So I think this season is like a bit more balanced in that regard. We'll have to see if they make some changes. I feel like if they kind of change the swap time of these Havoc weapons, that could definitely like adjust the meta a bit. But let me know what you guys like using down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.
Definitely. That was a pretty good video. I'll go ahead and give that a like as well, and I'll paste the video here in the chat for you guys. If you guys want to go watch that yourself, maybe give it a like, give it a sub. That was an overall good video. So I was like 3 out of 4 on those weapons. Again, that was what, red eye, sword, Havoc shotgun. Those were the 3 out of the 4. He thought the twin mag or the fucking exotic pulse rifle was the best for the 4th weapon. However, I kind of tend to disagree on that 4th one and say either pistol or suppressed assault. So I mean, that's kind of where our differences lied there. But overall, most of it, I agree with them. And then, yeah, obviously the legendary Slurp Juice, that's going to be a go-to versus the Six Splash, in my opinion, because it just does both. Heals your main health and shield. So, hey guys, if you like the video, make sure you head over to the page, hit that like button, scroll over, smash that subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified for future video drops. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.